Welcome back to my channel, friends. This side Sonia here from Growing Craft. You must be thinking what I'm doing at the starting of my video. So this is actually the final touch-up which I thought I should do with you all, but at the end of the video you'll realize that I said, oh, I'll do it later on, but I'm doing it now. So this is one of the beautiful decor piece which I have just finished. So this is like a freshly baked, and oops, I should have done this from the back side. Okay, so this has been freshly made in my craft room and just now, and I hope you all will like this one. So let me just finish up this tiny work and show you what this project is. So welcome back to my channel. This side Sonia here from Growing Craft, and I hope you all are doing good. You all are doing great. And yes, let me just show you that what my project is all about. So yes, this is, I'm so sorry about my messy table. It's really bad in colors and shape now, but I have designed this beautiful wall hanging in a paper bag shape. So this is actually a rectangular piece, and I have just added a thread, and I am going to keep it like this. So let me just cut this portion, and yes, so this is how it looks. It has some really nice texture. It has some really nice color combinations and loads of textures. So let's start creating this one today. And today we are going to do an altered wooden plank. So this is one of the scrap piece of wood which I got from my neighborhood. There was some carpenter work going on, and I was so excited to be actually pick up all the scrap pieces from their house, and they were really happy that I'm taking everything, and they had so less of garbage that day. So but I absolutely love this one. So now this particular piece has holes in this. I really don't know why. Maybe they must have done this for some furniture piece, and it was just leftover scrap. So here I'm going to alter this one. Now here is a twist that usually when we do any of the mixed media, the decoupage work, we do it on the rough surface, the natural surface, or not on the laminated surface. So I just thought, why not to give it a try on the laminated surface and see that how exactly it works out. Now I will be using some stencils, some really nice colors and shades in this, with lots of steps. So let's get started. And here I'm going to start with my gesso. Now my one side is already white, but still I need to prep up my base, because this is the laminated surface. It is not going to have the colors, it is not going to absorb the colors naturally, so I need to prep up my base. Also I could realize that it is not that smooth, so yes, after applying gesso it is going to smoothen up, and this is going to look good. So here I'm doing a quick gesso work. I'm also going to cover all the four sides with my gesso. I'm just going to do the sides, and why I'm not doing the back side, that I will let you know at the end of this project. You can use your acrylic white paints for the sides. It is going to work that way only. And oops, I need to pick this up. Okay, I'll just slide it this way. So here doing it with my brush is really quick, and the surface is quite big here. So that's the reason I thought I will do it with my paintbrush only. Okay, I love this step. I really don't know why, but I love applying gesso on my projects. Okay, so here I'm done. So by this time my top coat has almost dried out. So here I'm going to apply my second coat also. This is just to make sure that whatever the rough edges were there, it is going to smoothen up my base completely. Okay, so I'll just remove all the extra gessos from the sides. I will just take out extra gesso and I'll put my brush for cleaning. Now I need to clean up my table. I'll just wet up this napkin. I'll slide it on the other area and clean up my table quickly. So as you can see that I'm cleaning my table immediately. It is just going to make sure that it does not dry out. Once the gesso dries out, it's a little difficult to clean up. You need to put so much of effort, and anyways, if you know me, I like my table to be clean and spacious. Spacious is something which is really a rare thing, but cleaning, yes, I try to do it as much as I can. So here I'm done with my cleaning, and now I need to use my heat gun to dry this up. Okay, so my gesso has dried out well now, and now it's time to start with my coloring. But before that, I'm just going to quick dry this brush, because like I said, I'm going to play around with colors. I'm going to play around with loads of shades here. Okay, so here is pink, yellow, green and blue, and I'm going to play around with these shades. So what I'm going to do is I will be starting with this shades. Maybe I need to take a smaller brush. Can I dip this inside? Oh, I can't. I'll take up this brush. I'll just do some brushing work here and there, and I really want to be very 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 casual with this coloring. So I'm just brushing it up here and there, not in a particular position. So can you really see the marks of my gesso, which I absolutely like? So these are the grains which you see because of the brush which I have used for my gesso work. Now I am going to add on other shades too. So now here I will be taking up the color here, and I'll start from the other areas. You just need to be random. You don't have to be very particular about it. Just keep on brushing it up completely on your base, and that is going to make your project look so rustic. And now I will be adding this green color. Okay, so here I'm brushing off my green color here and there. So you just need to make sure that you always need to brush up in one direction, so that you don't mismatch with the colors, and you know that how exactly and where you need to put up the shades really. Now I just feel that I need to add a little more of blue and pink. Let me just finish with my green shades. This is really fun. You can just play around with all the shades you like. You can create a multicolored project. And just one thing, whenever you're doing your brushing up your color work, make sure you color the surface which does not have the colors, so that with the next step you will know that where you have to put up these colors. Okay, I'm done. I need to add some more blue here, and I will be just dabbing some colors here and there. Let me just poke this so that my color does not dry out. Okay, and now I'm quite happy with this. Now I am going to give it a quick dry with my heat gun. Okay, so here I'm done with the with the drying process, and now I am going to brush up my last color, and this is my yellow shade, and I'm just going to brush this up completely on my base. I'm just going to make sure that I don't overdo the brushing work. I'll just brush up once and I'll leave it. But I need to make sure that I spread it really well on all the sides. So yes, this is looking really nice. This is going to be really interesting to play around with the shades. So here I'm done with the yellow color chalk paint. Now I will be doing this same shades on the sides too. even you do a bit of brush up, that's absolutely fine. So here the shades what I chose was pink, blue, yellow and green. You can always play around with the color combination what you want. So it's been so long that I had played with some really nice cool colors. So I thought having these shades is really going to be interesting. So here I'm using chalk paint. You can even try this with your acrylic paints. Of course there is going to be the difference in the quality, so you can scroll down to my channel where I have done a video on the difference between the chalk paint and acrylic paint, which is going to be really helpful if you are a beginner, and especially if you like playing with your mixed media projects. Okay, so my drying work is done. This has dried out completely, and now one of the interesting parts of this project. So here I have my sandpaper and I'm going to cut it into smaller pieces, and now the fun part begins. Now here I'm going to scrub it on some other areas, and I will try to scrub it in one direction only. This is just to give the natural torn out look, the natural dry out look to my project. I'm doing it on the edges also, and likewise I'm going to repeat it in the center areas also. Can you really see? Can you see those pinks and blues and greens? It is coming out slowly, but this is going to look really interesting. On some of the areas, you can always press your papers, and can you see the shades here? This is looking amazing. Just try to fix in the sandpaper and scrub it and rub it really well, especially on the edges. This looks so nice, this looks so distressed, and I love this effect. So now you can either leave it at this stage only, or you can do some more scrubbing work. This is actually completely your choice, that what kind of detailing you want in your project, whether you want to see more of your background work or you are just happy with the current state of color. So there's nothing right or wrong. You just need to make sure that you are happy with the outcome. So here with the flat brush, I'm just removing the excessive powder so that I know that how much work do I need to do more, how much scrubbing work I need to do here. I think a bit of touch up here and there will work good for me. So can you really see how distressed this looks? and I can see all the nice blue, green and pink behind my yellow, which is really interesting. So this is done. Now this is actually a very tough thing to do. Okay, so I am quite happy with this one. In real, the colors have popped out really well, and like I said, I did not wanted too much of color on this area. So yes, in that way this has turned out really well. I'll just give it a quick clean up to my table. Okay, now this is done. Now it's time to move on to our next step, and my next step is to use this stencil. So here I'm using this stencil, Life is a Gift from Craft Treat, and I'm thinking of doing this in the center of my page. So let me just try to fix this up. Okay, and now I am going to use my sponge dauber, and I'm going to use this color the neon orange shade, and I am going to dab this on my stencil. Now you need to be really careful for this. You can't overdo your stencil work, your color work. So here I will be just dabbing my colors very nicely, and I will try to be really specific with the amount of color I am taking, the amount of shade I am using on my board. With even a overdo of color, your complete project can be a mess. Your stencil work is not going to be good. Now here I am using a sponge dauber. You can use your a normal sponge. You can give it a try. I'm not a big fan of normal sponge, but if you want, you can give it a try. Then you can even use your paint brushes. You can use your stencil brushes. The varieties are too much in the market, which you can definitely and always try. You need to be a little patient when you are doing your stencil work. So here, as you can see, that I'm just taking a dot of color, and this is looking good. I hope this turns out to be good. And now I'll be continuing doing the stencil work on the upper area also. Okay, so here I am done, and it's time to remove my stencil, and this is looking just amazing. I absolutely loved this one, and now it's time to do some more stencil work. And here I am planning to use another stencil, and this is the script stencil, which I really like. Now before I start using my stencil work, I need to just make sure that I dry up my paint work well here. Okay, so now my coloring work is done, and it has dried out really well, and it's looking fab. It is looking absolutely gorgeous. And now I need to work with my stencil, and I need to use my DIY texture paste. Yes, this is my DIY texture paste, which I've kept in a very big container, and I use it so much that now it is almost finished now. So I will be taking just some or the little of my texture, and now I'll be doing my texture work here. So you just need to be a little gentle, and you need to make sure that you spread your texture really well. You don't leave any spaces. Now there are two ways that I could have done my texture work: left the empty space and then do my quotation work, this color work. But I wanted to be more careful with my texture work, and I did not want it to overlap with my quotation work. That's the reason I'm doing my texture work at last. Now I just want to be a little quick with this one, and the reason is that I want to make sure that if there is any texture which is gone on my quotation, I'm just going to clean it up really well. So yes, with this I'm using my palette knife, and I just want to make sure that it goes really well here. And cool, now I think I am done. I will just try to remove the extra of my texture paste, and can you really see that how much I got back? Now I need to remove this, and I need to just clean up my palette knife so that I can remove the extras from the side. And wow, this is looking absolutely gorgeous. I am loving this one. This piece looks really beautiful. It has turned out beautiful. Now again I need to use my heat gun to dry this up. So my coloring work is done, and now I'm going to use my shimmer paint, and I just highlight my text. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just dip my finger, take the extra color out, and I will just rub it here and there. This is just to highlight my texture work. You don't have to overdo this. Just a bit of color on your texture and you are so good to go. Let me highlight this so that you can see how it is turning out. And if you see, my text is looking more like a rustic, and you need to be a little gentle because I have used my heat gun, but my texture has not dried out completely, so I need to be little gentle with my texture paste. The ideal situation would be like where your text has dried out completely and it goes well with your background. So yes, why not? Now I'm just brushing off the extra colors on the edges, and this is just to create a border kind of thing and to make sure that it goes well and creates an unset border, which is really important, so that when you have this art piece on a wall, it is just realize, yeah, so that when you put up this artwork on wall, it looks like a border, that it has some frame, some border to it, which is looking gorgeous now. So I'm just adding some more textures on the edges because I am liking this effect of texture work, the rustic effect, and with the colors it has, it's looking absolutely beautiful. Some more of my work here and there. Wow, and this looks absolutely gorgeous. Now I'm going to repeat the same process of brushing up my shimmer paint. You can use any of the metallic paints and you can do the brushing up work on the sides too, and this looks really cool, really nice. Wow, now this looks a beautiful piece, and I'll just quickly run my heat gun. And at last I am going to use my Asian Paint wood finish varnish, and like I always say, use your varnish really well to seal up your project. And once I'm doing my varnish work, I'm actually realizing that my chalk paints are popping out so well, they are coming out so well. So my varnish is really helping in popping out the colors, and I am absolutely in love with this project. So yes, in this one I am going to have good 2-3 coats of varnish, which is really important because it has so much of color, it has so much of texture, and it has so much of brush work that it will need some extra coat, it will need some extra varnish so that it stays long. Now I am done with my first coat. Now here is the important thing, to give it a quick dry, and then we are going to add something to hang on this. Okay, so I am done with my varnish work, and now it's time to do my background coloring. And here, yes, if you remember, I said that I'm not going to color it now because I had put this up for the last thing, so that once I'm done with my front coloring and everything, there's not going to get any marks on the back side. So I just need to be a little careful here. So I'm going to put up this jar, keep this piece, and then I'm going to pour in my black color. You can use any of the colors you want. It's not necessarily that you want that you need to have a black color. You can use white shade, you can use any of the lighter shade. I just like having darker backgrounds, so that's the reason I am doing black color here. So yes, I am trying to be a little gentle because the front side of my base has some work. Of course it has dried out now, but still I just want to be a little more careful when I am doing this. So as the acrylic paint on the plain wood dries out really fast, immediately I will give my brusher for the second coat. You don't have to specifically just do it, but one coat is also enough. But I particularly like to have my wood pieces finished really well. I'll just color up this portion, as I'll try to cover it up as much as I can. So here I am done with my second coat of my acrylic paint, and now I will be using my heat gun to dry this. Okay, so this is almost dried out and my front looks quite good now. Now I'm going to do my second coat of varnish here, and I will be doing this quick varnish work here. So yes, with this my project is done, and I really hope that you'll like this tutorial and you are going to try this really soon. And if you have any queries, please feel free to comment below. I will be more than happy to help you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And yes, do not forget to check all the links down in the description box, where I have shared everything. And yeah, one more last thing that I need to add up twine to this, which I'll be adding off camera. Yes, I will be sharing the pictures of that. So thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.
Le bonheur est passé à deux doigts de nos lèvres, deux doigts si fins que j'ai presque pu le goûter, le bonheur à sculpter, de son ciseau d'orfèvre, des souvenirs impossibles à effacer. Le bonheur est passé à 2 doigts de nos lèvres, 2 doigts si fins, que j'ai presque pu le goûter, le bonheur à sculpter,